You guys ready in the back? Is there any more guys coming? Just like to start by congratulating Nick Nurse and his staff and the Toronto Raptors and all their players, their organization. Congratulations to them. They did a heck of a job. It's hard to put into words, how you feel when a season like this ends. I'll save most of it for the team, but I'll say I couldn't be more proud of the way our guys compete, the way they play every night, the way they conduct themselves. This hurts, but what they did in this playoffs tonight against a really good Toronto Raptor team, and to get to the conference finals in the regular season, special season for us. And we feel like we're just getting started. This is the beginning of our journey. And again, I couldn't be more proud of our team. And I don't know that there'll be an opportunity in questions. I would like to thank John Horst and the front office and the job that they did in this setting, in this environment, the roster and everything they did to put together a team that could compete at this level. I couldn't be more thankful and grateful and appreciative of what John Horst, the front office, does, what the ownership does. So I just wanted to say that here in this setting.
Matt Velasquez, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. You guys were up 15 late in the third. They go on that 26-3 run. Just what did you sense from your guys during that stretch? Did you sense them tensing up, or how would you maybe diagnose the struggles in the half court too?
I'm not sure I'll go back and watch this game, at least not for a while. A little bit of both. I felt like we got out in transition. I remember one big play. Giannis gets it on almost a lob and is at the rim and kicks it out, and we miss a wide open three. And my guess is there's going to be some situations where we missed open shots, and there's going to be some dry possessions where we either don't execute well enough, we don't maybe share and pass the ball and play in a crowd. 26-3 run is usually a little bit of everything.
Eric Name, The Athletic. I'm curious, taking a look at the start of that fourth quarter, Giannis is on the bench. When you look back, do you regret maybe not having Giannis out there as they go on that run that ties it up real quick?
No, I mean, it's been a big topic, something, lots of questions. I don't think Giannis playing 44 minutes is the solution. If we can't win with Giannis at, 40 and a half, then Toronto deserves it. At some point he's got to take a break. I think he took a 1-minute break in the third quarter, and he took a minute and a half or 2 minutes. And, credit to Toronto, and it's an area where we got to be better. Giannis was out there for a lot of good things, and part of whatever it is that didn't go our way.
Kane Pittman with the pick and roll, Bud. With 29 seconds left, it's a 3-point game. There's a bit of a differential there with the shot clock. Was that an obvious decision for you to let them run the clock out and try and stop, or what's the thought process when you get there?
No, gosh, it's right, like on that edge. And, we talked a lot about it as a coaching staff and, went into the huddle with the players. And, I think it was 29.4, 29.6. So, you feel like there's a 5.5, 6 second differential. And as good as we've been defensively all year to, try and get a stop. You got 5 seconds, 6 seconds to come and score, a 3-point and tie it up. The debate, do you have more possessions and play the free throw game? Like I said, it's just right on the edge, 29.6, 5.4 different, 5.6 difference. We went with trying to get a stop.
Eric Name, The Athletic. Taking a look, you just mentioned a sequence where Giannis has it underneath, kicks it out. You look at 21 points for him at the end of the night. Is there some push from you to try to be more aggressive, try to take it to the rack more, or I guess just kind of how would you view him in these final 4 games?
I thought he was fabulous. There was, maybe I think the one game 3, when you look at the film and you have conversations with Giannis, that was maybe the only game where, I think the aggressiveness and the force that he needs to play with, there was, enough situations where we felt like he could have been more aggressive, more forceful. But, 5 out of 6 games, I would say, and even that one, he was very good. I'm just being critical of Giannis and trying to push him. He's doing very, very close to exactly what we need and what we want him to do.
Just late, Matt Velasquez, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, just late in that third quarter with what Kawhi was doing, and then he continued for the rest of the game. Just how hard is it to try and slow him down and stop him, and how much of that has been like a story of this whole series for you guys?
Well, I mean, he finishes with 27, and I'm not sure how many of them were at the end on a couple of those free throw situations. So he's a great player. He made some very, very special plays. Give him a ton of credit, but to your question, I mean, I thought the defense overall on him was to be commended.
Eric, name The Athletic. I think the obvious reaction to this will be, this is a stepping stone for Giannis, that this is, as a great player, you have to go through some losses. But it feels like also this team you guys put together, you just had so many moves that came together. That might also be, who knows, your best chance. Just how do you kind of try to process this in the moment and then also take Giannis through it?
Yeah, there's no doubt that, what John Horst in the front office was able to do with bringing in George Hill and Nico Mirotic and obviously Brooke in the summer, that the roster that was put together for this season, as the season started going, you started feeling like it was special and could do special things, including advancing past tonight. But it didn't happen, and not for lack of effort from our players, not for lack of effort from the front office or ownership. Sometimes it just doesn't work. It doesn't happen. The other team makes more plays. But I will say Giannis is going to get better. Like to think for us and to be excited about his future at 24. And, yeah, I mean, it's just the easy narrative, easy narrative story that this is part of Giannis's stepping. But I think the thing that makes Giannis unique and exciting is, in our minds, we feel like he's going to get a lot better. He's at 24. Some guys are, I don't want to say they are who they are, and some of the great ones at 24 were just, and then they were the same at 30 and 32 and so on and so forth. Giannis, we feel like, has got a lot of room to grow, and I think that's probably our entire roster we feel excited about can grow.
Just the rebounding numbers, they're all in your favor, really, when you look at them. But it felt like, again, they just were able to get offensive rebounds in key points. And it was Kawhi tonight, I guess. You spoke about it after Game 5, but did you think that that was more him making big plays, or what did you see from your guys on the glass?
I mean, certainly credit to Kawhi. Certainly, Ibaka, Gasol, Siakam sometimes. Again, it wasn't the number of rebounds, like you said. It was just the timeliness of them. The loose ball foul between Giannis and Ibaka. I don't know. It seems like that stuff happens every possession, both teams, and it ends up in a Van Fleet 3. So I don't know if that goes down as a team offensive rebound or what. But there's a few plays where we're coming into the game, we said we had to be better, and we just didn't get it done.
Eric, last one for Bud.
Eric, name The Athletic. Can you just talk about Chris in this series? I know obviously he has that 30-point game and then some in the teens. He has Kawhi for large parts of it. Just what did you think of his performance in this series?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that stands out to me is defensively the way he took the challenge and embraced, guarding Kawhi Leonard in this series. Like, if anybody has any doubt of what kind of defender and how good he is on that end of the floor, hopefully they realized. And doesn't mean that Kawhi didn't score, significant number of points, but I feel like he had to work and made everything very difficult. Malcolm the same. And then offensively, I think there were, like you said, there's a 30-point game, there's a 10-assist game, there's a 10-rebound game. At the end of the day, like, to me, when I think about Chris in this series, he was just doing anything he could to help us win. And sometimes they put a lot of attention on him, and other guys, got to kind of thrive and work if he's got that much attention. So overall, I couldn't be more proud and more pleased with, the way Chris conducted himself, played, competed. He laid it all on the line.
Thank you, Bud.
Thanks.
they do not want me around. Don't want me to make a sound. They see I'm steady going up, but they would rather hold me down. I can never be defeated. I can push you to a cliff for you to jump off when you need it. Now I see what I believe in. Now you see what I was peeping. So it finally came to life, and now you see what I was thinking. They ain't always see the vision. They ain't comprehend or understand what I was given. My whip is like my passion. I kept going. I was driven. I was really in it. I don't really did it. I don't fit in with them. I was really different. I noticed how they keeping me excluded. It's working in my favor because it's keeping me exclusive. Eliminating foolish when I didn't want to do it. I don't matter if they ain't call me. I will probably throw your hands up high one time if you feel it. And throw your hands high 2 times if you're with it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you get it. Throw your hands high 4 times if you live it. Throw your hands up high 1 time if you see it. And throw your hands high 2 times you believe it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you with it. And throw your hands high 4 times cause you did it. Yo, that when I sit down and cry for it, mornings I would try for it. Never giving up because I'm knowing I'm supplied for it. Know that I'm alive for it. Continuously failed, I continue to apply for it. Look me in my eye for it. The truth, wanna hear my deepest thoughts. The booth, you can make it anywhere. I'm proof they done let a lyrical beast loose. All praise to the most high. I don't even smoke, but I feel like I'm the most high. Keeping me afloat, I'm from the going, so I'm so shy. Lyrical approaches tighter than these preachers' bow ties. Ain't met another who can claim me yet. Or better yet, another that can tame me yet. Or better yet, another who can change me yet. Or better yet, another that I ain't regret. So long to the old me, oh well. I'm getting cold and spitting fire, oh hell. If it doesn't claim my life, I'm getting stronger. I'm turning up the heat, I will not settle any longer. Throw your hands up high 1 time if you feel it. And throw your hands high 2 times if you're with it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you get it. Throw your hands high 4 times if you live it. Throw your hands up high 1 time if you see it. And throw your hands high 2 times you believe it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you with it. And throw your hands high 4 times cause you did it. Don't ever let these haters come and question you. Cause secretly these haters looking up to you. You wouldn't have these problems if it wasn't you. And you wouldn't have them salty if it wasn't true. Yeah, I flipped it on and made her feel stupid. For all the times they used me and I felt useless. For all the times they left me out, I felt clueless. No limits on me now, I'm riding round ruthless. Shut off the lights on them. Yeah, I pray to Christ for them. Yeah, got some advice for them. I've been chasing my dreams, I gotta fight for them. Just need a little water. A little sunshine, then the game is over. I take remote controllers. I'm killing them dead, it's a rap, got them rolling up high 1 time if you feel it. And throw your hands high 2 times if you're with it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you get it. Throw your hands high 4 times if you live it. Throw your hands up high 1 time if you see it. And throw your hands high 2 times you believe it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you with it. And throw your hands high 4 times cause you did it. Throw your hands up high 1 time if you feel it. And throw your hands high 2 times if you with it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you get it. Throw your hands high 4 times if you live it. Throw your hands up high 1 time if you see it. And throw your hands high 2 times you believe it. And throw your hands high 3 times if you with it. And throw your hands high 4 times cause you did it. Cause you did it. Cause you did it. Cause you did it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wanna talk small, I'm going worldwide. And my defeats on a decline. Don't bother me, I'm doing just fine. I did a lot of singing, now it's break time, yeah. Wanna talk small, I'm going worldwide. And my defeats on a decline. Don't bother me, I'm doing just fine. I did a lot of singing, now it's break time, yeah. I didn't wanna bring it out. But haters talking reckless, word of mouth. Never had to play a role with some clout. Never blended a king in the crowd. People coming left and right with the malice. All they care about is money and the status. Dodging up, superhero in the madness. Climbing walls, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. My bars are infectious, modern pop. I'm all charged up, call me Static Shock. Gonna run the game, I heard it's in stock. Young Simba in the flesh is my pride. Rock. Wanna talk small, I'm going world.
Hi, everybody. We'll start with Mark, who's down front and to your left, Jones.
Congratulations, both of you. Mark Schwartz, ESPN. I want to ask you both about that one play in the middle of the fourth quarter where Kyle, you picked off a pass and drove to the hoop and then waited for Kawhi. Just how, significant a play was that, and tell me about what you saw and why you waited.
It was a momentum, kind of capper. We kind of was on a run, and why not feed the big dog? Let the big dog eat. And I'm always going to look for my, the guy that I know can finish with the best of them, and that's what he did. He finished with the best of them right there.
When you were able to complete that play in that fashion?
It was great. Like Kyle said, we was on a run, and the building exploded after that dunk. Kind of got us a little bit more adrenaline to get another stop. And I've been playing with him for a while now, and it's just chemistry right there. So I know just to keep running with Kyle. If he don't have nothing easy, he's gonna make the right play, like he said.
So we'll go to John, who's sort of halfway back on the left.
Kyle, John Schumann, NBA.com. You guys have been the best team in the Eastern Conference over the last 6 years, if you take cumulative. But playoffs, you weren't able to break through. What does it mean to you, the guy that's been here the whole time, to finally break through? How much are you savoring this right now?
It means a lot. It's taken a long time to get here in my career. 13 years, 7 years here. I've ran into one guy for a while, and we were given an opportunity. He left, and we beat a really good team in Milwaukee. For me, I'm savoring the moment, but I'm not satisfied. Our goal is to win the NBA championship, and we're just gonna keep getting better and plugging away.
To Jackie, who's standing up at the back left.
Jackie McMullen, ESPN. Kawhi, Kyle's known Nick Nurse for about 6 years. This was your first year with him. Wonder if you can give us an idea of what he was like in the huddle tonight when you're down, and how he contributed, you feel, to where you are now.
He was pretty composed. Like I told Ernie out there, we were down about, I think, 15 points, 13 points in that third quarter with about 6 minutes left. And he told us that we were just here last game to keep fighting, keep striving, one possession at a time. We all felt, like we were still in the game. We had a little bit of momentum left. And we just talked amongst each other once again and just, said, let's go out here and enjoy it. And, we could play better offense and defense. And we ended up doing that, and we ended up winning the game.
To Dan, who's sitting down on the left.
Kawhi, Dan Wecke with the Los Angeles Times. It's been 5 years since you've been back to the NBA Finals, considering everything you've had to go through, the injuries and stuff like that. What does it mean to you to get back to that stage?
I mean, it's great. I worked so hard to get to this point with the season I had last year. Just always betting on myself and knowing what just knowing what I feel and, what's right for me. And, end up coming here with a great group of guys, a lot of talent. And I just, strive with them every day. I just kind of bought into their system. And, Kyle helped me a lot with my transition on the court and off the court, asking him questions, and him just pushing me on the floor as well and letting me know what to do in situations when he calls plays. And, it just helps. But, all that hard work just put together, and then, now we're here, and it's exciting.
To Michael, who's sitting down on the left.
Michael Lee with The Athletic. Kawhi, out there on the court, Masai just said you're the best player in the league, and he plays in Toronto. What does it feel like to hear that said about you, and how do you feel you've established yourself in that position during this playoff run?
I don't really judge my, game like that. I'm more of a team aspect, see what my team is doing. Just want to win. I don't care about being the best player. I want to be the best team. I always said that. And, just before the season when we made the trade, Masai felt that way about me. He told me how he felt and why he made the trade. And, it's turning out. It's turning out well now. We're in the finals, and we're not done yet.
We'll do 2 more questions, please. So there's one down here in front. Go ahead. Yep. I apologize. Was there someone? Oh, Mark again.
Kyle, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. As you said, you ran into a guy several times at this time of year, and you couldn't get past him. What is it that made this group capable of doing something that no other Raptors team was ever able to accomplish?
I think we just, honestly, man, I think the one thing about Kawhi, and you guys all know it, is he literally stays level-headed all the time. He never gives up, he never gets down. He showed some emotion after Game 7 against the Sixers, but I think he brought that, him and Danny brought that championship pedigree here and just kind of stand level-headed and even-keeled. And then you got Marcus Holt comes in, another veteran that, been in the league a long time. And, we just had a bunch of guys that, this whole season we've played through injuries and played through this and that. And, this year, Kawhi coming off the year he had last year, we did a good job of, his load management. The staff did a great job of that. But we just played hard and stayed the course. Nick Nurse did a good job of setting the tone early in the year. And, we were working for April, May, and June. And now we're, we'll start June now.
And the last question, which is right there.
Kyle, Reed Forgrave, CBS Sports. You've been here 7 years. You know this fan base is sort of fatalistic, that they kind of assume things will go wrong. But do you feel that, like, things have flipped, that you're not just affecting this team, but you're affecting the city?
I think we just went out there and did our job. I think we just go out there and play extremely hard. We got great fans. They support us through, the good times, the bad times. And, right now is a great time. And, we're glad that they're our fans. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Come on, Kawhi.
Talk small, I'm going worldwide. And my defeats on a decline. Don't bother me, I'm doing just fine. I did a lot of singing, now it's break time, yeah. Wanna talk small, I'm going worldwide. And my defeats on a decline. Don't bother me, I'm doing just fine. I did a lot of singing, now it's break time.
Take questions for Chris and Giannis.
Kane Pittman with the pick and roll, Giannis. Obviously, the 26-3 run was the key stretch in this game. What were you guys struggling with offensively? I mean, obviously they were on a roll, scoring the ball, but what was the struggle for you guys in trying to get good shots?
Obviously we were playing real well, in the half and in the third quarter. We know Toronto is a great team. They're gonna make runs, but as a team, we just try to stay focused and try to move the ball, trust one another, execute. And we knew that we were gonna make a run, but obviously wasn't able to rebound the ball and run in transition, get the easy points. So that's why we lost the lead.
Giannis, over here on your right. Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Last year, after your last game, you said that you felt you were the best player, but it was clear that the defense, the game plan was to stop you.
I said that last year?
Yes, you did.
I don't remember that. To be honest with you, I don't remember that, but continue.
Okay. The fact that we saw pretty much a similar situation, at least you believe you're the best player or near the best player on the floor, but the game plan is to stop you. What has to change for you? What has to change for your team to make that fail?
I don't think anything gotta change. At the end of the day, we trust one another, and the game plan was double team me, make me not get a rhythm. But what I did was to trust my teammate, and that's what I've been doing all year. And if it's for us to lose by doing that, by trusting one another, by moving the ball, and by doing what we've been doing all year, trusting our habits, it's okay. But at the end of the day, I just try to stay aggressive, try to make the right play. That's what I've been doing all year. That's what I tried to do tonight.
Over here, Dennis Krause, Spectrum News 1, Wisconsin. For both of you guys, start with Chris. The steps that this team made this season, and I know it's hard with the emotions raw, but right now, can you kind of take a look at what this team accomplished?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a great year. 16 wins, one of the best teams in NBA history. Got past the first round, what we struggled with for a long time, and just fell short of our goals. We were right there. So all in all, I think it was a great season, but still fell short.
Athletic, Giannis, I'm curious for you, what do you end up taking from this series?
Man, obviously when you're up 2-0, that doesn't mean nothing. You gotta learn how to come out and close out games, especially after Game 3. We gotta get better as a team, and we gotta get better individually. I think it's just the start of a long journey, and we're gonna get better, and we're gonna come back next year and believe in who we are, believe in what we built this year, and hopefully we can be in the same situation and be the ones moving forward.
Guys, Greg Matzik, WTMJ, and to your left, Giannis and Chris. First of all, thank you for all your time throughout the entire season. Chris, what's this next month and a half-ish like for you? Obviously, you're leaving a locker room tonight, and that locker room won't look the same next year at this time. What's this process going to be like for you?
Take some time off, spend some time with my family, get healthy, and start training. I mean, that's really what the first month is really about.
Matt Velasquez, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Giannis, obviously you played more minutes tonight than you have in regulation at any point this series. Pretty much more minutes than you've played throughout the season as a whole. Just with the first 90 seconds of the fourth quarter going the way they did, were you itching to get off the bench? Did you feel like you needed to be out there more?
Obviously, I want to be out there. I want to play. I love playing, but I trust my coach. I trust my coach the whole year. The way he's been putting me into the game, the way he is taking me out of the game and making me rest and putting me back in the right moments, and that's what I got to do right now. You cannot just start making up things, or you cannot just go and tell him put me back in, especially in a game like this. But it's all about trust, man. You can never lose the trust, especially in a game like Game 6 tonight. But obviously, I want to play as much as I can. I want to be on the court and help my teammate do whatever it takes out there to win.
Chris, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Coach Bud complimented you on the job you did defensively against Kawhi Leonard, tough cover. He got 17 rebounds in this game. What was it like to see the force that he was playing with in this game, and how difficult was it to withstand that force?
He's a great player. I mean, a guy that can score at all levels, guys that can defend many different positions. He had great, rebounding instincts. He grabbed a couple loose balls. He's just a great player that willed his team, made plays, made some tough shots. Just led them. Great player, though.
This question for Giannis, Ren Junbo from Tencent. Giannis, you talked about you want to get better as a player. Do you have any plan this summer to work on so you can to be a better basketball player, like work on shooting or anything?
If I have any plans for this summer, obviously I gotta go back home and spend some time with my family, and after that, I'm gonna make sure I get in contact with the coach staff and see what we can work as a team, and how can I get better individually. And it's something that I take pride in, getting better in the off season. So hopefully I can work in the right things, listen to my coaches and what they think I can get better on, and work my butt off and come again back next year and just be a better basketball player and a better teammate.
Eric named The Athletic. Giannis, I'm curious, when you look at Kawhi on the other side, he's a guy that's gone through it. He's gone through some losses. He's been here in the playoffs before. Do you feel like that was a difference in this series, that he had done it before and you haven't done it before yet?
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell from the way he was playing, and not just in this series, in the previous series also. The way he plays, he has so much patience. He knows what he's going to do. He has confidence in himself, and he has the experience. He's been here before. He's been to the finals multiple times, and he played well. Played well. He did everything that he could to help his team win, and it was a tough guy to guard for our team.
Malika Andrews, ESPN. For both of you guys, I'm curious, you guys have talked a lot about how at this point, sometimes it takes experience. I'm wondering if now that you have some of that experience, if you see more validity to that point, or what you think about that now that you've gone through it.
Just about experience. I mean, probably sit back, let this series digest a little bit, watch the film, watch the games. Like you said, experience, you have to go through some things to get to where you want to go. So hopefully we learn from this and move on from it.